I'm Hema. I'm a chartered accountant by profession. I met Sandeep during a particular time in my life when I went through a personal setback, more to say. I call it a setback now, but I think it was a learning experience now that I've had some experience working with him for a long time. I have had a journey of immaculate learning and immaculate teachings, which has helped me in a long journey in a way to find my own self. So when I met Sandeep, I can say that there was a disconnection between my mind and body. So when I met him, he put me on a path which I think is inherently known to all of us, but we've lost touch with it. And that's when we need teachers like Sandeep to help us reconnect to ourselves and to our mind and our thoughts. So he brought me in touch with a concept called as mindfulness. Through my association with him, I have been able to blend or bring my mind-body connection together in alignment, which has helped me grow, I can say, not just personally, of course, that was my first target when I came to him, but has also helped me grow professionally as well. And since I've met him, I've gone into a lot more concepts of this in depth, and I've had a lot more discussions with him, albeit at sometimes maybe irritating him as well, asking him a lot of questions. But he's been such a patient teacher every time that I've met with him and every time I've had interactions with him. And through his teachings, I have come to see that each one of us can benefit so much by learning about mindfulness to lead us on to becoming a better self. Now, isn't that why we're all here for? I still hope to learn a lot more from him because I'm just getting started on my journey and there is still a lot more milestones that I have to cover. So I look to learn a lot more from his upcoming classes and sessions, which I think will greatly benefit me to grow, not just as a person, but as a professional and also ultimately as a human being, to serve not just myself, but also to serve others. Of course, it was very difficult for me at that point in time to meditate because I was going through a lot of these negative thoughts that were coming in, a lot of anxiety, loss of self-belief, more to say. But when he took us through, he gave us the courage, he took us through this entire process of meditating by focusing on our breath and trying to find that stillness, but let the mind wander, but coming back to the present self. I think it ultimately led me to overarch myself from the fear zone to a self-discovery zone. I think that's what ultimately self-mastery is all about, because you have to discover yourself. And when you discover yourself, you find your best potential. And when you find your best potential, you do good not just to yourself, but to the world in general. I think Sandeep's guidance is meant for everybody. I would say not just for adults or anybody who has got setbacks or who's got personal or professional problems. It's meant for everybody. I think it's one of the essentials which all of us have forgotten in time, so that we've all so focused on materialistic knowledge that we've gone ahead and forgotten some of these very minute details which have such a huge leverage in the quality of life that we lead. So I think it applies to everybody, from kids to adults to people who are retiring, who are in their old age, because when they come back to mindfulness, they realize who the person they are and who they can be. And if you were to ask me if there's any one, of course we all start for the wrong reasons. We start with coming and asking as to how we can get over this depression, or we've gone through this, what can we do? Is there any pill that we can just go and get it and just have this result? But it doesn't work that way. It's a long journey, and with one single meditation class you may not find the profound experience, but as and when you go into it deeply and as and when you keep connecting with your teacher, you get to know more and more about this profound knowledge that mindfulness is. And I think if you go with that approach, I would say it should be made mandatory for everybody, not just for any particular class of people, but it's one of the essentials, just like how breathing is to life.